Okay, rightio. So, the events of the last game, um, several members who were as part of that original group have since moved on, gone on to either greater or lesser things, but it's left Kulak, Abyss, and Ebon Mystic still in the general area and having formed a sort of a quasi group. Excuse me. Not really having a name as such, but the three of you sort of have worked on some other small, low-level sort of issues. Um, so I'm just trying to. Now the map we're using is taking off
Silver City?
Silver City, yeah, from our
Or
previous Silver
what is,
Sentinels
yeah, I was about
game.
to say, from our Silver Sentinels game, and what is
E-
essentially Gotham City?
Gotham City, yes. So I just need you guys first of all to tell me roughly where you sort of situate yourselves in. Oh God, there we go. In Silver City. Basically, where are your digs?
What are the areas? Uptown, is it like upper class, middle class, lower class?
Oh no. Um, so downtown, well, Sandy Hook is some of the very elite stuff. So I'm assuming that probably Ebon Mystic's human alternative is probably either from there or from Uptown or from the highly exclusive way over here near the forest. I can't actually tell you what the name of it is. Just zoom in. Sorry, getting there. Adamancy Forest, and sort of there's you would have estates or vast sort of areas that are sort of owned by very rich around there. So you could have somewhere there. The basic layout of the town city is so Sandy Hook is sort of a cultural centre with very upmarket bistros, bars, clubs, all that sort of stuff, as well as stuff that other people, would like come to hear a concert or a play that's been done or something. Then right across to the north of that, you've got China Basin, which is one of your poor areas. Downtown tends to be more. Um, it's sort of a it's a poor area. The worst poor area is the Narrows, um, and it's all reclaimed land. Part of a project that didn't sort of get finished because they were attempting to basically obliterate the entire part of what they call the Gotham River, um, and make a land, but it didn't quite succeed because of several disastrous investments as well as some people sabotaging and all sorts of other bits and pieces. So it is as it is. So then you move into Midtown where you've got a whole lot of the workaday people, um, and it's got all the associated stuff with that. So you've got several schools, high schools. You've got some parks where several of the sort of the more mainstay sports, baseball, that sort of stuff is played. Movie theatres, ordinary mom and pop stores, all that sort of stuff is there. Uptown is the business centre um, of town. So you still have people living there, mostly in the West Village or in Randall. Um, all the various points tend to be more business, bank orientated things. South Channel Island is another, I guess you'd call it the playground of the nouveau riche. Um, so like up in Adamancy Forest or up in the in Randall or over in Grant or Bayside. These are more the established families, established monies. South Channel Island is sort of the new people. That sort of it. You've got the Palisades on the western bank and the associated expansions going up that way. On the eastern bank, you've got a whole lot of I haven't really got into that, but a whole lot of development over there. And past the North River, you of course have more development and the international airport. There is on the River Liberty toe, if you like, of the river that goes up and joins up. I can't remember the name of the river. The part of it. This is the northern part of the city. The east or northeast passage that looks like a river is just basically a elongated sort of bay area. It sort of eventually terminates. And yeah, so the water flows from north to south out to the Atlantic Ocean, obviously. Um, Other areas. So the Narrows also hosts a prison. What else can I tell you? Yeah, most of it you'll see coming out of, but that's the basics of it. So you just need to know roughly where you're placing your characters.
Above a boxing gym in downtown. I
Okay.
work there.
In Midtown. Oh, downtown. Okay, cool.
Downtown. That's the
and-
lower class, right?
Pretty much.
And
Yep.
next door is a pub.
Along the street, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yep.
What
Okay.
were you saying
Not
about
too close that it distracts me from beating people up. I mean, training people, but
Okay. That's all cool. Sorry, Tara.
what were you? Yeah, what were you saying about the upper
So, uptown.
class areas? Yeah.
Uptown, places like Grant, Bayside, well, a bit less Bayside, but Grant, Randall, the Adamancy Forest up here on the north
Is there a
west of the
map? Is there a map? Because
We're on the map.
where your character is, it's not
No,
showing
sorry,
up.
do not see a map. I'm sorry.
Taking you to the map.
That
now.
works. That's a lot better.
Yeah.
That actually works.
Yeah, that's cool.
There's a
Opposed
map.
to that white screen I was looking at.
Yeah. Andy, you've
You
come
mean
out
you
of-
couldn't read the white screen?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, well, that's good because in at least my description, Lincoln was able to visualize it. So, in Uptown.
I was looking at the map you gave me.
Okay. Right. And I have actually sent the map out to you guys, and I've cut it down so that you can print it on A4 and then reassemble it if you want to. But it's big enough that you should be able to see most street names. So, in
Yeah.
Uptown, Grant in the northernmost place, West Village to a slightly lesser extent, but Grant and Randall are definitely old money. Atamancy Forest, the villas and sort of estates that border that side of the forest is another established old money.
Forest. Hold on. I'm trying to find forest.
And then if you're really ultra
Top
rich,
left.
oh sorry, yeah, at the top left. Hang on, I'll get you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And
definitely
then-
not going to settled into old money. She's new to the town.
Okay, so then you've got the ultra rich, and they tend to sort of focus down here in Sandy Hook.
All right. Let's see what we have
And
here.
they
I
tend
don't want
to
to be anywhere near stadium.
Okay, so they tend to be on the southern side of the motorway.
You could live on a tree.
Tree Street.
Yeah. Yeah. Waterfront property. That looks good.
Okay, so are you looking
I
at...
do need I need a corporate office, obviously downtown.
corporate office? You'd probably be looking at Uptown at the other end.
Okay.
And
where
you
most
take
of
your
the businesses-
helicopter there because it's quite a long drive.
Possibly. So your offices are going to be North Point, South Point, West Village, Bayside. Randall is more residential, as is Grant. So it just really depends on whether you want to sort of place it in the centre of Uptown, North Point, West Village, or either the East and South Point or the Southern South Point.
Okay. Where's the business area? In Uptown?
There, that should have centered it for you.
Yeah, okay, I see it.
Yep.
I'm gonna say probably. Let me zoom in to see what the names of these things are. There's a. Oh yeah. Let's try. I'm guessing this is Uptown South Point on Clinton and. Okay, there's no cross street per se.
Okay,
Clinton
can
between
you
Locke
can
and.
you just ping where you
No,
want to
I
be?
could always point.
Ah,
Yeah.
yep,
There is
so
that.
down here, yeah. Okay, so I'll just put a mark where you're so you're in an orangey sort of colour. So just trying to find the match of that. That's close. So I'll try that. So Clinton, you said, sorry. Where on Clinton Avenue did you want to be?
Okay.
Because if you have a look at it, it sort of starts
I
down
was
here
thinking
and it
Clinton. I was thinking right
finishes up
about
here.
here. So that
Okay.
would be Clinton. I don't know what the cross street is. J.
It's underneath Uptown. Um,
This right around here.
yeah. So if you were to take it right here, that's on the corner of Clinton Avenue. Sorry, other side, and Sidell.
Okay.
Sound like you?
There you go. Yeah, that's
Okay,
good.
rightio. I'll just put a mark there so we know what we're talking about. Come on, little mark. Oh, okay, it's gone in red, but that's okay. Okay, so we know where your business is associated, and your actual waterfront residence. Whereabouts are you looking at? So it'd be sort of either on the east or the west, because the front part here is docks, um, and it's more not business docks. It's more like transport docks, um, and of course all the water frontage that a lot of people go to is along there. So
I'm trying to see which would be the best in the way of views. What's over here?
we're sorry.
Over here. I'm pinging.
Oh, right over there. Okay, so we've got just over there.
Because there's no.
Nothing's actually been developed there yet.
Things been developed? Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. Okay. So I would probably look around Jerkett Street, right about here where the street ends.
Where Jerkert and Mineral Boulevards sort of meet.
Actually, here. I'll have
And here.
commission a road to be built and have um a house built right there
Okay.
with a private dock
Yep. So we sort of
and somebody's right, helipad.
yeah. So
Yep, got to get
sort
to
of
work somehow.
looking this sort of area here, like that.
Let me see again.
If you have a look at the area,
Yeah,
sort of drawn
yeah,
out. Yep.
yeah,
Okay. So
yeah,
you sort
right
of
there.
got that, and you'll probably have some gardens and bits and pieces. Quite a expensive sort of estate.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Okay. So that's where you live, and just whereabouts are you picking Lincoln in downtown? You've given me an idea, but where?
Uh, well, what is which street is it?
I would
What's this area like?
Where? Sorry, spring again.
East Park side.
East Park. Yeah, that'd be okay. I was actually thinking more probably Cobble Hill area, but East Park would be close to a lot of sports events and bits and pieces because it does have the
That's what I
parking
was
near it.
thinking. But
Okay.
yeah, because
So do you want
living
to be
above a gym
on?
is ideal.
Okay, so you're probably looking at one of the roads that comes off Beaver Boulevard. So they are all these sort of streets coming along here. You just need to pick one of those and just ping it which area you want to be at. You probably aren't going to be on the west side of Hudson Street. You're probably going to be more okay. So
Gangley Street in between
Gangley.
Hudson and Honey.
Okay, cool. And your
Oh, no, corner of Honey and Flora, and there's a pub across the road that sells mead.
hang on a second. Honey and Flora.
Yep.
Okay, so we're sort of putting you there.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Cool. And finally, the water elemental. Where you live? Anywhere in the water?
I was about to say, I
There.
think the park's a good plan.
Okay, so the lake and the park.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's all cool. I don't think there are any actual other lakes. Well, the ones up
in the rich zone.
I was about to say Amity
Yeah.
Forest, out in the forest, and that's about it. But
yeah.
that's a bit far away.
Okay.
Where's the water treatment plant? She could live in there.
Probably wouldn't like all the chemicals.
Nope.
Okay, so I've got a rough idea of where you all sort of situate. So, this particular game opens up on just an ordinary, everyday, like you expect every day to be. I've forgotten your character's first name, Eben. Mystic. Your human equivalent. Karen or Catherine or something like that?
Is Caroline.
Yeah. I know you did an awesome intro, but I can't remember her name, sorry.
It was very long as far
Well,
as
she had about 4 last names.
Yeah.
The 16th or 18th or something.
Caroline Windsor
Caroline.
Dyson Winchester.
The 15th or something. Caroline. So Caroline, tending to your financial empire, let's just say you are uptown visiting the offices of your business. And does your business actually have a name that you want to make up? Or what do you sort of things do you? What are sort of the things that your family have invested in? Is it a finance? Is it a R&D? Is it a drug
Actually,
company?
part of it is investment capital.
Yeah.
Um,
So you're going to diversify a little bit.
oh, definitely.
Okay. Yep.
Think of my family like the Koch brothers, if you know who they are.
No, sorry. No, I don't.
Hands in everything.
Okay.
Hands in everything.
Okay, so you
They're
have some
douches,
sort of,
but the idea is what
okay.
I'm going
So
with.
you've got some
Or what's his name? Not Elon Musk. I forgot the other guy's name. Anyway,
Bruce Wayne.
No.
Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to go superhero, Bruce Wayne.
Okay.
Well, he had money and
yeah,
everything,
but-
pretty much.
The reason she's here per
Mhm.
se, he has to do with capital investment. Basically,
Okay.
um,
Perhaps she is investigating that area you were looking at before over here as
Yeah.
possible investment land for either a plant or more residential or something. For whatever
yes.
reason.
Yes. Waterfront, because you said this area over here was not developed yet. Yeah. So
down here. Yeah,
a residential, commercial, and entertainment complex.
complex. Okay, cool. So she's hoping to so basically owning a mall, kind of, with
Something more than
hotel attached.
just the mall.
With a
Yeah.
hotel,
Yeah.
but a total sort of enclosed experience.
Oh, hotels, actual residential buildings, some
Welcome to
skyscrapers.
Mega City 1.
Okay, no, that's cool. So she's looking at that. So that's some of her background business she's going about on a day-to-day basis. And of course she'll show up at sort of some various red carpet events just to get her name out and there in the newspapers and be a bit
Oh
more
yeah.
noticed and try and drum up some business that way. So that's sort of at the moment her sort of human life sort of thing at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep,
Okay.
he knows.
Cool. Okay. Just a quick question. I don't know Karlak's real name, first name. I've forgotten it. I know it's I think Russian, or it's European anyway.
Artyom.
Sorry.
Artyom
Artyom.
Yakov.
Okay, Artyom. So, Artyom's, what's his general sort of clientele? So he's renting out a gym. I take it he doesn't own it.
No, definitely not.
So he's renting out a gym or space in a gym to train people in boxing.
Yep.
Okay, radio.
My
So,
clientele is whoever pays me, and hopefully a couple of decent fighters, even underground fighters, but we don't
Okay.
mention that.
Okay, radio. Cool. And so that's sort of your general day-to-day life. And what is Abyss's day-to-day life like?
Oh, you know, wake up, swim, eat a fish, you know, go for a walk, see what's, you know, new and interesting, stay away from the sewers after that first time. Ugh.
Some more fish.
You know, go, you know, swim through around town in the harbour, like I say, just learn the city itself.
Okay.
Its strange customs and people. See if I can't find anyone else that's sort of more like the Earth Elemental or something that, you know,
Who's
sort of.
since left. Yep. So
Yeah.
I'm going to say that you probably are a bit more higher profile because you had been wandering around and people have started to actually recognise you for who you are. So you do tend to attract an awful lot of what they call media attention, which can be quite bothersome and get in the way of your just normal placid sort of existence of just discovering and exploring. They always use those flashing things, and apparently they're taking photos to put in something called papers. You sort of looked at one, but you don't quite understand why they use that. Are they not able to communicate ideas by talking to each other, sort of thing? They have to they have to refer back to these newspaper things, and sometimes you've even seen yourself on one of those little electronic boxes they call TVs. When someone managed to get you for a couple of seconds of interview before you decided to, oh, that's enough, I'm going to move away.
Yeah. And go with the like all things liquid, go with the flow.
Yeah. So I'm going to say more on the East River side and the east of the East River side. You've actually attracted the attention of several of these young humans, and you seem to get them a lot easier than the adults, and they seem to have a lot more fun anyway. So you have sort of gathered a few, I'm not going to say friendships, but acquaintances at the moment that seem to be quite comfortable in your presence. You have noticed that a lot of the adults don't seem to be comfortable in your presence, and you have had to duck a few individuals. These guys wear dark sunglasses, wear dark suits.
Keep trying to
You're not
pester
sure
me
what they
more
want.
than anything. Anyone that whips out a taser is going to be.
Yeah, you're just not sure what they want, but you're just not trusting them as much. But you have, as I said before, after you managed to capture Slag, you were a little bit of the media darlings for a very short period, and that's like a couple of months ago. Since then, you've worked on some very low-level, sort of either individually or as a little group, just very low-level sort of crime, and the city has started to become familiar and a bit more comfortable with you in general.
Right.
The one thing you two have noticed around Kulak, and I think Lincoln, I know we talked about it, I hope I've got the thing right, is that Kulak has left his hip flasks behind on most of the missions now. Is that correct, Lincoln?
I still have one left, I believe.
Okay.
I lost one of them.
Okay, I just thought you'd...
During a hip flask and missing I'm guessing it disappeared somewhere.
Right. Okay. Right. I just thought you'd cut down trying not to, but that's okay.
Not to
Um,
drink so much. Yeah, I'll
on
leave hit
missions.
flask.
On missions.
Yeah. I don't drink during the day anyway, or I try not to drink during the day.
Right. Okay.
The gym is strictly no drinking.
Right. Rightio. So there you go. So, Caroline, you're at your offices, just trying to, with some of your planners, trying to do some meet and greets and trying to get some more surveyors, overlook some of their reports about how valid this investment might be, what are the possible profit margins, all that usual stuff that most people sort of roll their eyes at, but you find it somewhat interesting. Um, and Kulak, you're in the tail end of the morning training session. Abyss, I'm just going to randomly roll to see where you are, because I have no idea. Okay, well, you happen to be quite near your park, so either in the lake or heading towards it or just starting to head away
Yep.
from it, sort of thing, at this time of day. Um,
Right.
so just in the background, Kulak and Caroline, there is a TV, and it sort of plays in the background, and there's just amongst all the reports, something just catches your eye that there's some teens that have gone missing from Jefferson High. They list out the names. There's like 4 of them, and the reason that they are named is because they're actually all on the gridiron team, and there's created issues for the gridiron team to actually then be able to play the next game. Jefferson, I'm going to call them the Hawks. Jefferson High School, the Hawks team, is quite well known to. They've had a pretty successful set of years versus other high schools and colleges, and several people have gone on to be professional gridiron players from this particular school. So it is of some note, and there's the captain of the team, um, 2 of his best friends, and one of them on the team that's not doesn't seem to be connected to the other 3 apart from the fact that he's on the team.
They can't go missing. I've got $100 on their next match.
Well, there you go. Yeah, so the game's been
That is
called off.
probably why.
Yeah, game's been called off. So that's just something you hear, um, and you go about your day-to-day business. A couple of days later, you might be at home watching TV or whatever. There's another report. So it's now been a week and a half since these 4 young men have disappeared. The police have done some initial investigation. The parents have been quite frantic, and they've sent out several televised messages saying, if this is a kidnap, just please tell us your demands. We'll try to meet them, whatever. And if it's not kidnapped, then you kids are just taken off. Just call us and contact us and tell us you're okay. But unfortunately, nothing seems to be happening. And I mean, other news is sort of creeping in and overcoming it, but because of because of the school and the game and all that sort of stuff, it's still maintaining a bit of presence in the local news. So later that night, you guys usually have, this just happens to be one of those nights where you meet. Um, and your common meeting ground usually is over here in this park next to West Chelsea Hill. It provides you some anonymity. It provides you some quiet space. Also, it's roughly in the centre of the city, so should anything happen, you've pretty much got an equal distance to travel to anywhere if you decide you're going to move anywhere.
Right.
and it's quite close to the river for you, so you're quite happy.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say you meet up close to this little bend on one of the westernmost parts of it. So you might come out of the water, Evan Mystic, you might, I don't know, appear however you think is most appropriate. I feel like you probably caught several buses and just walked in.
I was going to say that was my evening jog.
Okay. Rightio. You've had your uniform under your clothes, you've jogged there, you've put the hood up over, you're still a bit
Hoodie
sweaty,
on.
and like, okay. So, your meeting, what do you want to talk about? Apart from the missing kids, there's not an awful lot. I mean, the other team in town, the official one, I'll give it a name later on, they seem to be taking care of most of the masterminds, the villainous masterminds. They've also been asked to investigate. They really have only started their investigation. You don't know what, if anything, has come from that. You do know that they have a central in Midtown, up over here near the police force, the police, which is over here, Central Police. They are sort of over here somewhere, just to the east and the south of that building. Probably on what it's called, something. God Almighty! It's really hard to see these names. It looks like West Tulip Street to me. Yeah, West Tulip Street, where God Almighty, Van Brunet and West Tulip meet. So right here. So in that block they have their own building. If you needed to go to them for anything, that is. So eventually you three arrive on the banks or in this area here generally, in West Chelsea Park.
So,
Wow, I wasn't drunk when I was seeing the water chick.
Okay.
no, we've done some work together.
Mm-hmm.
But
Want a
obviously I
shot?
don't know anything about it.
I offer the hip flask.
Yeah,
It's got pure mineral water in it this time.
I take one sniff, shake head, no. But of course I don't know any of the ongoings of the thing.
Not really. You sort of
Town.
rely on the other two to sort of fill you in a
Yeah.
little bit, because you're still
'Cause
trying to
I
work out
don't-
this information.
Don't read their
thing.
paper things, and I
No.
don't.
You're sort of, at the moment, you're sort of more looking for trouble than anything
Yeah.
else. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, the three of you arrived there. What do you feel like you need to talk about, if anything?
We've got some missing kids, or my missing hip flask. I reckon we should go after the hip flask. Well, I do have money on the kids.
Yeah.
Have money on
in
kids?
The gambling
they-
involved with the game.
The game. They're a winning team. I was almost guaranteed to win money on them. They won't give me my
Is
money
this
back.
why you're here? Because you had money on these youngsters?
No, it's just extra motivation.
You needed
I-
extra
I-
motivation?
I need money, okay? I'm not that rich. Poor. I can barely afford my whiskey.
Right. So,
Really?
well, in the instance of missing youngsters,
Mm-hmm.
will sort of pique my interest, because obviously I like the young ones. They seem to, get me.
It tastes so
I get
delicious.
them, one of the two. So I'm definitely all for attempting to locate, the four missing ones. So I suggest we start where they went missing from. Does anybody know that?
Not
Search around in my
Do
pockets,
we
pull out
know
that
where
old
they-
newspaper,
We know that
Yeah, do
street
we
three
know
would
where
would
have.
have
they pooped
could
from?
have would have gone missing all at the same place.
Don't really
other-
know where they gone missing. The only thing you really have is that they are not attending school for the last week and a bit.
Oh, then we should check their home first, then.
Or
Okay.
check the school grounds. I mean, obviously nobody's going to be trying to kidnap more of them because they've already called the game off. So
Okay, well then. I suggested we go and speak to the parents. Which, well, okay, let me see. I have a water nymph, and what's
Kulak seems to be a
well,
bit of a bruiser.
look the two of them over, and I'm about to say something, and then just shake my head and say, yes, I'll go speak to the parents. Why don't the two of you,
where's the
check
school? It's
check the school? Yes, yes,
Mhm.
that sounds good. Check the school.
Okay, so
who was their next game against? Like, sorry,
some out of town group.
yeah, right.
Um, so Ever Mystic, it won't take you terribly long to find out where these kids live. Um, so just pick. Are you picking the captain first, or the kid that sort of wasn't that much of a friend? He was just on the team, or who do you want to sort of pick to go for first?
I'm going with the captain first because that's
Okay.
obviously that that would be the most
Highest profile player.
dedicated kid. Yeah, he'd also be
Okay.
the most dedicated.
Rightio. So his family lives on Hoyt Street, which is a street down here to the south of the school. You sort of, I'm not sure how you're travelling there.
I am going to arrange for the leasing of a POS car that it looks like your typical um official city car,
Mm-hmm.
something you'd find, say, a social worker in.
Okay. Right. Yeah, so
You know,
I am the social worker superhero. I like it. I like it. Okay, so you sort of pulling up. You do notice that there is a police presence. They've got a police car parked opposite the house. Obviously, they're watching the family, perhaps protecting the family. You're not sure. You are in your costume.
okay.
The other reason I didn't put your
Oh
character in a
no,
mask.
not in my costume.
Okay.
Not in my costume.
Yeah. So the other reason
Um,
I didn't put you in a mask is
I'm
because I thought you could like do a little magic spell just to alter your appearance, and
yes, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm doing. I'm making myself look your total put upon civil servant type.
Okay. So can you just give me a test, please, for your little cantrip?
Okay. So that would
Two d
be
six, and you need a 5 or a 6 for it to be convincing.
it's a basic roll.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't see what that got.
Yeah, I rolled a 7
5 and a
5 and a
2.
2. Cool. Yep.
or 5 and a 2.
You have a
Sorry.
quick look in the car
Yeah, right.
mirror. You're saying, yeah, that sort of looks right to me, so I'll use that. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
you get out of the car. You walk up the
I
pathway.
gotta do
Um,
this again.
For what?
5 and a 3 because I need an ID. Conjure up an official looking ID.
Okay, right. You walk up the pathway and then you suddenly realise there is a police officer sort of just standing behind a tree. He steps out and says, "Excuse me, ma'am. Have you got some ID I can see?"
Yes, hello. I am Beatrice Monroe. Hold up my ID.
He
Some
sort of
social
looks at it.
services here. I am here to speak to the parents of fill in the kid's name.
Yeah, Adam Garrett.
Adam Garrett.
Okay. He sort of scratches his head, but he says, "Well, this sort of looks
I'm
right."
gonna go with Eunice. Eunice Speck. Yeah, Eunice Speck.
You're now going to be Eunice Speck instead.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, I'm going with
Okay.
that name. I like
Okay,
that better.
Eunice. Okay.
It's
Rightio.
it yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's that it's got that sound of a government
Right. Okay.
anal government
Rightio.
worker.
So it says Miss or is that Ms? He's obviously
Mrs.
had some.
Unispec.
Sorry. It's Miss Speck. Did you say?
This is
Mrs.
the
I beg your
married
pardon.
married
Mrs. Speck.
Mrs. Yeah.
Okay. Well. All right. I'll just go and, up to the door and knock and see if they can see you. As you can very well understand, they've been through quite a bit of trauma, and we're just here to try to protect and just see if
I
anything's
totally
happened.
understand. I'm just here on government business, the usual, checking up on things, getting information on the child's life, home life, and the like.
Certainly. So just if you could just follow me, please. So he leads you up into the veranda, knocks on the door. Um, a
Clack, clacks.
rather worried and tired-looking older gentleman sort of answers the door, and he just has a quiet few words. Um, uh, the the police officer just turns around and says, "Mrs. Speck, if you can keep it pretty short, these people are sort of at the end of their tether." But we
Totally understand. I will be very, very, very mindful of the emotional situation.
right,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much for your
Sure,
assistance
ma'am.
here,
So
officer.
this is Mrs. Speck, and this is Adam Garrett.
So, Mr. Garrett,
Yes,
I'm assuming you are the father.
yes.
Shake his hand.
Right, he shakes it. Yeah, please come in.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Thank you. Walk in.
I can't really offer you anything. My wife, she's been pretty much confined to bed at the moment. The stress of that's been pretty heavy on her. You
I
walk in.
completely and totally understand.
There's two other kids in there. They're watching TV. One's a young girl you would estimate to be somewhere in the range 14, 15. And then you've got a younger boy who would be possibly 10, 11. Dad
Mm-hmm.
says, "Oh, these are my other two children. It's Grace and that's Anthony. About time, Anthony, you started getting ready for bed, mate." And so Anthony very politely says hello and goodbye, and he goes off and does his business. Grace, you get the impression that she's a little bit more surly, and
Oh,
she
I
is your
lost everyone.
typical teenager, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's a feeling at the moment. Yep.
Right.
So he takes you through into the kitchen. Says, "Oh, just one moment, please." And he just cleans out the door and says, "Grace, half an hour, and I expect you to start getting ready for bed. Thank you." You hear some sort of smart comment back, and he just says, "Grace, half an hour or now, you choose." And then he says, "Sorry about that. How can I help you? Would you like
I
some water
am
or
just
anything?"
doing a checkup on the situation here with your missing son. He
Hmm.
takes out a clipboard.
Yep.
Give me a Can you tell me anything about his um the week prior to his disappearance? Anything you noticed? Change of
Nothing really.
habits,
They
emotions?
yeah they were doing a few extra training sessions, getting ready for the big game. Him and his two cronies were hanging out a bit more, but that's okay. I understand that. Um, I- I'm not really sure much more than that. Apart from that, it was pretty much a sort of a average sort of week for the family.
Okay, and who are his two friends? What were their names?
That'd be Jerome Burns and Peter Willow.
Okay. Those aren't those aren't amongst the missing kids list,
They
right?
are. Yep.
Okay. I don't indicate anything about that.
Yep.
And now that day that he disappeared, he was there anything untoward? What is his normal
He went off to
uh
school, normal as, looking forward to it. He was going to spend some time with his girlfriend, and then after that, um, they were doing a training after school. He was going to spend some time with the girlfriend, and then he was going to come home a bit later than normal, which I said was okay, given that he'd been doing pretty well with his grades and everything else. Yeah, I just don't understand why people have taken him, or why he's left if he's left on his own volition. Because like, this is a pretty good place to
When was
be
the
here.
last time you heard from him?
That morning, I work from home. I'm a freelance writer. So sometimes my wife goes to work, so sometimes I'm the one that sort of says goodbye to the kids and gets them ready for school. Sometimes she is. Um, yeah, so it was me that day, and yeah, it was totally fine.
And you said he had a girlfriend. What was her
Mm.
name?
Her name, um,
Yeah,
Mercy Brown.
Brown.
Hmm.
Is she listed as one of the missing kids?
No.
May I see his room, please?
Um, yeah, I guess so, but the police have said not to touch anything because if they need to do any more forensics, we're sort of not allowed to touch anything. So
I
if you don't
understand.
mind,
I
just
just
from the
need to see
doorway.
the room.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Rightio. He sort of takes you up the stairs, checks in on Anthony, says, "Good man. Okay, off to bed." Um, and he sort of moves along, and he says, "Just give me a second, please." He goes into one door, and he's talking very quietly. He's obviously talking to his wife just about that there's a social worker here. She just wants to, I don't know, do something. I don't know.
Okay,
Just
I
talk to her.
am summoning one of my minions.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they're going to be insubstantial, incorporeal
Yep.
scene, and send them into the send them to follow the little boy. S-
Right. So is it a minion level? Is it a
It's a
uh,
fodder.
it's a fodder. Okay, yeah, I just need to know whether it's a fodder or one of the loaded ones. Okay, cool. Yep. So just observing really more than anything else. Yep. Okay.
And I'm going to have another one be downstairs with the girl that he was speaking to before
Mm-hmm.
to watch her, see what she's doing.
Okay. So the father comes out of the bedroom, says, "I'm sorry, my wife can't see you, but she's too distraught, and she's quite heavily sedated." So you follow
I
me,
totally understand.
and he moves along the balcony sort of thing, moves around to the left and says, and comes to a door, and he sort of hangs it and he opens it. There's tape on it, so he sort of is careful not to disturb the tape. Opens the door, turns the light on. Says, as you can see, we're not really allowed to go in there, but that's his room. There's his bed over there. There's his stuff as he left it on the day.
Mm.
Yeah, there's nothing that I can see from. I went in there with the police, and they said, "Is there anything missing?" And I couldn't see anything that, apart from his school gear that he took with him on the day.
Um,
That's it, and
I'd
his clothes.
like to look around inside the room.
Uh, you have to check with the police
Touch
officer
anything.
because they said we're
I
not allowed
promise.
to.
I promise not to touch anything, but I do have to. It's required that I do look around and make sure that no untoward, hidden, or contributory factors within the room. I have a sharp eye. That's why I'm here. I won't be required to touch anything to see if there's anything of note, any warning signs you may have missed.
Do you think he's harming himself?
I cannot say until I've had a chance to look around his room.
Well, I
Not worry,
guess I
sir.
guess you and the police cooperate, so yeah, you have to whatever you do.
Thank you. And I step into the room.
So if you're not trying to disturb the ribbon, the cord the tape they put over the door, it's going to be a bit
Don't.
of a balancing act, but you can get through it.
They were very thorough, she says
Mm.
as she straightens her
Yep.
skirt.
Right. So you get
And
into the room. There's a bed over by the wall with the window. There's a desk next to the bed. Opposite, behind the door, is this a dresser, and then on that wall opposite, on the so if the bed's on the far wall, on the left wall is where the boy's wardrobe is, and he's got
okay.
some shelves and stuff. Um, typical teenager sort of wallpaper covered in posters. These seem to be more gridiron, some females. A couple of pictures of the same girl. Pictures of him and some friends. There's him, um, another Afro-American boy, another white boy. They seem to be in lots of pictures together. And there's one with like all four of them and some other people, like him, his two friends, and the girl. They seem to be at some sort of restaurant or eatery or something. You're not quite sure. You sort of can make it out. It's that sort of place, so probably where they meet or something.
Huh.
It's got a couple of models hanging off the roof of sort of Star Warsy things. Yeah, he's got a couple of trophies on his shelves and some ribbons. He obviously was quite an athletic young man. That's yeah. I mean, if you have a look at his books, a lot of them are about stories or things about sports. There's very few actual academic things, if you know what I mean, about subjects.
Not a big
Um,
studier.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. And the only other thing you do notice is that he's got a power source and a keyboard and a mouse, but no actual computer. But like it's one of those plugs that you probably put into a laptop. It's not a normal big plug. It's a little plugs that you put into a laptop. So that's
Uh-huh.
not obvious in the room anywhere. The laptop itself.
There's a
Um,
power cord, but there's no laptop
yeah,
or
yeah,
anything of that nature.
yeah,
I
yeah.
look back at the father. Did your son have a laptop or a
Mhm.
computer or something?
Yep, yep. The police know that it's missing. They're looking for that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, if you don't mind, I need time alone just to clear my head and look around.
He sort of looks at you a bit oddly.
Again, like I said, I won't touch anything. Do not worry.
Mm,
I am a professional, sir.
and then you can hear Anthony calling his father and says, I'll just go talk to Anthony. I'll see what's up. I'll come back.
Once he's gone, the first thing I do is I look to detect magic. After that, I will cast a spell. Allow me to detect uh, drugs in the vicinity of the room.
Hmm. Um, the detect magic is going to be a standard 2d6 roll. So if you do that one first.
To roll.
And nope, you don't get any result from that.
Oh,
The detect drugs, because it's a little bit, it's not quite what magic works for, would be at a disadvantage, so 1d6 roll to see if you can detect anything of that nature. So you're not happy with the detect magic roll, but you don't seem to detect anything, but you definitely feel comfortable that your detect drug roll spell didn't detect anything because you believe there's nothing there to detect.
okay. Looking at the picture,
Which pictures do you want?
the one you said that there's a picture that has the
All
group of
four?
them
All four? Yep.
someplace, a place that they'd like to hang out.
Yep.
Probably not since I'm new to the town. So what I'm going to do, I'm casting another spell. This spell will basically duplicate that picture.
Okay. Yep. So it's sort of like a magical photocopier.
I'm
That's
going
all
to
cool.
say, no, that's not going to help. I'm going to try again.
Okay. So 2d6.
Oh
So
my
to activate that
goodness.
spell, so 2 and
Or you
2,
could pull your
3.
phone out of your pocket and take a photo.
I could always take my phone out of my pocket and take a photo. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Don't you hate it when someone breaks the whole, you know, jump the
Yeah,
shark thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's this? It's the
I'm a s-
Wi-Fi
yeah.
password. We're not savages.
It's
I'm a
okay. I had
spellcaster,
this
damn
problem
it.
a long time ago, like a few decades back. I had a character
Yeah.
who was a magic user who had
Yeah.
wings. So I spent a lot of time for a long time casting fly spells. Shut up. Up.
Oh man. Yep.
Okay, so see what's this next thing she wants to do while she's got oh
You can hear the father coming back.
mm,
Are you gonna take a camera shot, or are you gonna try to do a
I'm
quick?
taking a shot of take a picture.
Okay.
I'm going to take out when the father's coming back. I'm taking out a handkerchief,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to be holding a picture with the kids, and I'm going to check anything hidden between the frame and the picture.
They're just photos that are pinned onto the wall. There's no frame.
Oh, they're just photos pinned. Okay,
Yeah,
so no
yeah.
framed
No,
pictures.
no frame.
Okay,
No framed pictures in this whole room. It's just he's done a sort of mosaic of
just
his.
tacked on the wall type of
Yeah,
things, right?
pretty much everything. Posters as well
Um,
as photos. Sorry, I didn't describe that well.
I want to let's see what if there's anything else.
Okay, so the father comes up to the
Okay.
door and he says, "Look, I'm sorry, but my youngest son
Oh
is a
no, that
bit upset.
that's okay.
He's saying he's seeing things, and I need to sort of get back to him. Would you mind
I'm totally
come
done
back
here.
later
Yes,
on?" Okay,
I will
thanks.
probably have to do a follow up, but I think I have
Fine.
all I need at the moment.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I went side of the door
Right.
and I desummon
Right.
um on them. I just have them come out and have them in the car when I get in, and then I can
Yep.
find out what they saw
Okay. So you can hear like the dad
or
takes you to
heard.
the door and lets you go. The girls just says, "Oh, that woman, she's creepy. It's like someone was watching me all the time when she was in the house." And the dad goes on, "Look, do you have to play it right now? Okay, can you? Oh, well, then I won't talk then." And she sort of goes back to her moodiness, and he sort of goes up the steps. You can sort of see him, and the doors, like you can hear that, and then that's sort of you leave. The police officer comes and says, "Thank you, ma'am, for keeping it short. Yeah, we'll be
Yes,
still
I
watching
shall
the
be
family."
returning again in a couple of days as a follow up, but
Hmm.
yes, it's a shame about this poor family. Yeah,
Hmm.
thank you very much.
Okay,
Have a wonderful day.
right, yeah,
POS car, drive
yep,
off.
yeah. Well, wonderful night actually, because it is night. But anyway, yep, that's
Okay,
cool.
night.
Quickly, I'm just going to quickly go over to the school. Okay, Kulak
Yep.
and Abyss, you sort of arrive at the front of the school, which is on Jefferson Street. Um, it's quite a large school. You'd say it would probably have around about close to 2,000 students. Um,
So
yeah.
the first thing I'm going to take notice in, because obviously humans love it so much, is they've always got those camera things pointed on me. Do they have them around around the school?
They do have a couple of CCTVs.
Okay. Sort of obviously scanning my way around. Like, is the school open or is it private? Is it a private school?
It's night time, so it'll be closed. There's no one here.
But it's a locked
Is
gate.
is there a car in the car park? Is there a
No.
security guard here overnight, or?
Well, that part you can't really tell from just standing on the street.
Yeah, but is
Um,
it a locked gate or is it?
no, there's no lock gate because there's a
Okay.
huge driveway that you pull up and you can drop
Okay.
kids off and all that sort of
Oh
stuff.
well.
Um,
I was just wondering
but
if it was a private school or
there's a
which one it's
couple of
private land or if it's a
no,
public school.
it's a
Not
public
that that's going to
school.
stop me.
Um,
Okay.
the entrance is lit with normal
Mhm.
night lights,
Cool.
and there are
Well,
lights on around the outside, illuminating parts around the buildings.
since it's
But that's
basically
about it.
open ground, I'm going to go find where their playing field is.
Yep. So the playing field is more to the southwestern end of the school.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to go see the playing field, see if they've got any of those camera things that watch the field, or anywhere near
Yep.
it.
They seem to have cameras around the perimeter as you're moving around it.
Yeah. Cool. So if we could get access, we might be able to look back at the day in question and see if there were any suspicious vehicles that just seem to keep showing up.
And to see if the kids actually left the school,
And that was
or
the other
when
one.
they left the
Yep.
school.
And once we get information from Eben, we'll actually have more to go on. But beyond that, obviously the school itself is locked,
Mhm.
like shut. But like I say, I'm caring more about the thing. So practice ground, have a search around the bleachers and see if anything's been broken.
You'd have to
and
go
missed.
onto the ground, and therefore you would be seen by the cameras if you do that.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I look weird and I wander around town anyway. So
Okay.
yeah, I look
You look
probably.
under the seating, or the bleachers as you call them.
Mhm.
Just normal. Wow, sorry for you, that's not
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah. Gum.
There's that's it sort of. There's
You know, for a
nothing.
really great Buick call.
Yeah, nothing really that points you to any sort of mischievous or dastardly things. There's no blood
Nothing's
stains or
broken. Nothing's
nothing like
left
that.
behind.
No,
No
there's
lost
been some
baggage.
defacing of stuff,
Yeah.
and there's bits and pieces of like cups, the plastic cups that they use, and that sort of stuff on the ground underneath the bleachers. But that's about it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I smell any spilt alcohol?
Probably not. What are you guys doing?
So we go talk to the security guard if there is one. Knock
Okay.
on the front door.
Knock on the front door. Okay. A short time later, you are behind the door. Are three rather tall, intimidating gentlemen in uniforms. They all have holsters, and they all have their hands on their holsters right at the moment. One of the guys through one of the speakers pushes it and says, "This isn't Halloween."
No, it's not. But I was wondering if the school would be interested in having extra people look for the missing kids. I'm quite concerned about them, considering how long it's been.
Because he's really only seeing you. He's not seeing Abyss. So he's saying, friend, a guy who walks around in his pajamas in the middle of the night. I don't think the school's really going to need your kind of help.
I thought you'd be wanting any help, considering the kids have been missing for a week.
I'm hired just to keep this place secure at night time at the moment.
Well, then would you mind answering a few questions? I just want to know if the kids have actually left school that day and left the premises of the school.
No.
Don't you have multiple security cameras around here? Wouldn't you be able to see it on that?
Sure, but I don't see why I'd be telling you, a guy in his pajama suit in the middle of the night.
When else am I supposed to come? In the middle of the day when heaps of kids are around?
I don't know, sir. Perhaps somebody from social services could help you with your particular issues.
Cool. I'll send one of them over then.
Right.
Oh, if he calls me back past like they're not very helpful, I'll sort of ponder up and head on off.
Yep.
Okay. Rightio. They don't even make an attempt to come through out the door. They're
Yeah.
ready to shoot with their guns.
Oh, come on! Even as like the chick that is made of water just wanders past.
Well,
Wave.
you
Wave
do
it,
that, do
wave
you?
it, wave inanely at them. Yep.
Okay, so one of the guys sort of drops his jaw. The other one sort of isn't sure what he's seeing, and another one suddenly clicks and goes, "That's that water chick! That's that water chick! Hang on, hang on!" So he's sort of scrambling for locks. He's banging on the door. Hang on, hang on! And he's trying to, and his friends are sort of,
Stop.
"What the hell are you doing?"
Stop and turn around.
Yeah. And one of the guys says, he sort of comes up to you and looks at you, and he sort of says, and he sort of pokes at you, to make sure, like, as obviously his finger goes into the water, sort of thing. He says, "Oh my God, it is you."
Yep. I sort of smile at him quizzically.
He says, "Don't you recognise her? She's the water chick from that group who took down Slag."
And I also point to Kulak. Another one.
I was there. Is there a nearby handy rock?
No. Well, yes, there can be.
Yep. Pick it up. Crunch.
Ooh, whoa, he says. And the guy turns and says, "These are supers." And the guy says, "Oh, well, sorry, sir, but
God,
you have to
Creed.
admit, a guy walking around in that sort of onesie in the middle of the night comes up and talks, doesn't even tell me who he is. I'm going to be suspicious."
It's understandable, and this is comfortable.
Yeah, right, he says, looking away as you rearrange things.
Yeah.
Right, so, yeah. So his other
Um,
friend is still standing in the doorway, holding the
So,
door shut.
I sort of, point towards the cameras and say, sort of, so do cameras, keep records of, or keep track of things from,
The police have got all of
you
them.
know, okay.
Yeah.
And they
Do you
didn't,
not have a copy?
they didn't see
They
anything
took the
on the
copies.
day that,
Well, I heard that they saw the kids come into school. They saw a group of them leaving school, heading up north, up Jefferson Street, and that was it.
right, so, they headed north.
Mm.
Where is Jefferson Street? I can't even freaking.
Yep. Yeah, I'll ping it for you. Center it. That center it? Was you able to?
No, it did not.
Oh, yeah.
Where are we?
Whereabouts is the school, Steve?
Yeah.
Right. So yep, we're over.
In
over
the red dots.
Palisades.
Ah,
Yep,
okay,
yep.
so it is that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So they headed up
So
north
they
on
headed
Jefferson.
north. So they headed up this way.
Yep.
Oh well,
Where's the
again, smile,
kids' houses?
thank them.
At the moment, you
Further
don't
south.
know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Apart
where
from the
they
fact
are.
that Eben knows one's on Hoyt Street.
Yep.
Ah, okay.
So what would be up those roads roughly? Would that be going towards town? That sort of thing?
Well, the Palisades, it's another residential. There's a couple of small malls. There's some eateries. There's some arcades. There's, typical stuff that
Yep.
kids who aren't in the city would be attracted to.
Cool. Oh, hey, we'll thank the kind guards.
Anything? Oh,
Sort of-
would it be too much to ask for your signature?
If he pulls out a piece of paper, I'll just sort of put my handprint to it.
Okay, he says he gives you a pen. He says, "There you go, ma'am." If you can just put your signature.
Just scribble.
I lean in, scribble on the paper.
At which point, yeah.
Cool.
Even if I tap the pen to the end of my finger and absorb a little bit of ink into it, scribble something with my finger instead.
Okay, righty out.
Yeah.
He says, "Whoa, that's so cool! I can't wait to tell my friends."
Right.
And,
So
and then sort of as a second thought, he sort of walks off, stops, turns around, and says, "Who'd you say you were?" And he's talking to Kulak.
I'm Kulak.
Could I get your signature?
Sure.
Okay, so he offers you the same sort of pen and the pad, and he flips it over and.
Cool. Scribble out a Kulak.
Rightio. And do you sort of? Oh no, you don't want to dent the pen, do you? Okay. I'll give
Yeah,
it to-
I was gonna say I could engrave it
It's
into a
got-
rock.
I was about to say it's got real power lines coming off it. Kodak, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Rightio. Cool. Okay.
So, failing that, did we tell Eben where we were going?
I think you guys said you'll check the school. She said
Yeah,
she'd
right.
check some of the.
Okay,
the
at which point we're
parents.
going to wait by the front gate.
Yeah. Well, perhaps a
Until
little bit
she
away from
arrives.
where they can see, because otherwise they're going to be
Yeah.
standing there looking at you.
Yeah, gawking at us.
Yeah.
In the shade, maybe sitting in the
Yeah.
garden.
You're right.
Maybe up by this intersection here.
Okay.
Just
Around my
checking them out.
pockets.
Okay. So at the intersection,
Damn it! I
look
forgot my
around,
hip flask.
and you can see a couple of eateries. There's a one place there that's all nighter. A sort of a burger joint. A lot of the other places are closed or are closing. Okay, flipping quickly back to Eben Mystic. You're in the car. You're joined by your two little helpers.
Eyes.
Helpers. Yep.
and pick up, basically have them repeat back to me or play back to me what they saw.
So the one with the boy, he describes a boy sort of getting into his bed, um, arranging a timekeeping device, taking a drink from a glass of water by his bedside. He's got one of those small side bed lamps. Um, sort of, yeah, sort of turns it off, settles down for a bit, moves. It seems to be a little bit unsettled, and then the boy does something really well. He doesn't do anything weird. He sort of looks at your little minion, and he sort of looks again, turns the light on, looks again, and then he says, "Dad!" And then sort of Dad comes in and says, "What's the matter?" He said, um, and he sort of very clumsily tries to describe that he's seen something in the room, and he says, "Look, it's okay. It's okay. We've all been under a lot of stress and a lot of concern. It's only your imagination. It's all right. Just go back to sleep. We'll be fine. I'm in the next room, and if you need me, you can call out. Okay, it'll all be cool." And I said, "Okay, Dad, right out." And so sort of sits and puts him down and says, "Can I keep my light on?" And says, "If you go to sleep, that's fine." Okay, right out. So then he settles down, he's got the light on, and he's looking directly at your thing, and he's sort of covered, but he's looking, staring very intently, and then of course that's when you bring them back. The one with the girl, um, she's just watching a TV program, chewing on some popcorn, doesn't really do a hell of a lot, just moves a bit about, and every now and then she sort of looks around her, sort of looks at behind her, but doesn't sort of react to anything, just turns back to watching TV, and that's pretty much about it. Apart from
Hmm.
the little thing that you heard that they would have seen right at the end anyway.
Right. Okay. Either they're sensitive or I did not make them as insubstantial as I thought I had. Time to investigate.
hmm
Uh, I go and try and ring the other two.
Okay, so you with your connections you'll be able to track down some phone numbers. Jerome is you get his mum. It turns out she's a solo mum. She's
No,
a
no, 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 no. I meant
Us.
the other two.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
those two, other two.
If they do, one of you have a phone? I'm assuming Kulak might. I don't think the other person would. Would tend
It'd
to
be
destroy
very
it every
weird.
5 seconds. You know,
As
it's
I say,
waterlogged again. Why doesn't it
water
work after it's
damage. Yeah,
waterlogged?
water damage.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
So obviously
Yes,
once we
yes,
find
I would have a phone,
back,
but no, I wouldn't carry a personal phone with me.
Okay.
I figured we have some form of way of communicating with each
No,
other if we
haven't
should.
established
Oh,
that
not
yet.
yet.
No, no.
Mm.
It's been
When you
very
knew where we
and
were
I
gonna
can't
be.
afford a second phone as a superhero phone.
you knew exactly where we were gonna be. So
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go there and wait for
Okay.
them.
Righto. You pull up. They see. Well, they see this odd-looking
beat
woman
up.
pull up in a car. She looks. So Kulak, you've seen her sort before. She's one of those poke your nose into everyone else's business social workers. Um, Abyss, you don't seem to. She's just a woman.
I pull a
Yeah.
bus down. Stay away, the horrible people.
Right.
Do I see them?
Yeah, you see them.
As soon as she hops out of the vehicle and starts heading towards us, oh shit, she's coming for us! Run!
like
So you're a bit
I just-
confused about this.
I
Abyss.
just
Ah.
stand there.
Okay, so can I
I
suggest,
wave.
Yeah, Ever Mystic, can I suggest that as you move, you let go of that guise and you fall into your Evan Mystic guise?
Only if
Sort
there's
of a backup.
nobody around.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
you're not a social worker.
hardly. Anything?
That's good.
Anything?
So we relay that essentially the guards that guard the school at night managed to sort of tell us that after they finished the practice in the evening, the kids went northwards into sort of more into the Palisades, probably to hang out. There was a group of them. They didn't mention how many. Obviously, well, I was thinking that we might want to inquire with this establishment over here, which obviously seems to be open very late. Whether or not they were in there.
Okay. Do either of you recognize this area? I am new, so I obviously do not, and I show him a picture.
Well, I take a look at the picture. I'm gonna be like, and if I look across at the eatery across the way, is the decor in there even remotely the same?
Yes, it could be.
Yeah. I point to the picture and point to the burger joint.
That seems to be accordingly a place that they hung out on a regular basis.
Oh, I've lost everyone again, haven't I?
Have you?
Oh,
No.
Oh,
oh no. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting just terrible laggy issues.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I say, I point to the picture and sort of like more the decor in the picture rather than the people, and I point to the burger joint across the place and sort of,
Mhm.
you know, to what is essentially their decor.
that's okay. Well then, the last place he was with were two of the
Yep.
of the missing boys.
So point to the two males in the picture.
Yep.
Right. So easy thing.
So my guess
I
is,
suggest then that we take the picture into the burger joint and see if anyone that's in there was working that same day.
well, I'm not sure we need to take the picture, but okay.
Well,
We
the
could
picture
ask
will
around,
well the
try
picture
and
will mean that they can identify the people in question. Were they here? Did they make it from the school to the burger place? At which point, when they left,
oh,
did
was the
it
burger
what
place
direction they
across the
went?
street from the school?
Yeah,
Mm.
basically.
Need to
It's
know if
like,
they went. I'm sure that if they had disappeared between the
well,
school
this.
and that burger place
I'm just going
eatery,
to say this.
they would
This,
have been seen.
like I say, this chair slash booth or whatever they're in, here resembles what we can see through the window of the burger joint. So that might be where they were when this picture was taken.
Yes, I'm saying that I doubt very much they disappeared between the school and that eatery.
Yes, but
But
you
the
don't know whether
eatery
they
might have
went
seen where they're going.
exactly
Yes.
which way they went, north, south.
Yes. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll start
I
programming
will
for
be
that.
honest. I am not
I'm just gonna go
to
wander over.
frequent these types of places, so I will leave it to the two of you to do the questioning.
Okay, so I'm going to just wander over to the burger joint and sort of, with a finger insinuate that the other two follow.
Mhm. Rightio. So the walking ball of water, or the walking figure of water, enters. There's a couple of people behind the. There's one guy who's eating at the counter. There's obviously a barmaid.
Cashier,
Waitress.
waitress.
Waitress, and there's a
Yep.
cook in the back. Um,
Okay.
as soon as the guy eating catches a sight of Abyss, he sort of picks up his plate and moves around you and exits real quick. The barmaid sort of just drops her cleaning
Waitress.
rag and just looks at you, and the chef is talking still to them. He seemed to be friendly to them, and
Order
he says, "Well,
69 up.
what's happening? Come on, what? Am I? What's happening?" And then he sort of puts his head out and he goes, "Holy shit!"
So I approach the cashier slash waitress and sort of
Mhm.
again smiling wave. We are looking for missing adolescent humans. Have you seen these people in and sort of point towards Ibn Mystic's phone to see if she'll raise it and when hopefully if they were last in here, what day was it? A week ago?
Week and a half.
Yeah. Anybody remember what they ordered?
So they're still taken a bit aback by the fact that you're in their room, their establishment.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that sort of slight uncomfortable quietness, and the sort of suddenly click, and they go, "Oh, you're that water girl, Abby, something."
That's probably actually a really good short name for a bus, Abby.
Yeah.
Um,
That'd be normal.
Yeah.
yeah, Abby Normal. Um, Great name for a magic-based hero. Gotta go with that one at some point.
Mhm.
So I'll repeat the question again once they've sort of got some senses back, and again hope that Evan Mystic will bring up the picture to
Mhm.
sort of insinuate like I'm after these children.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll hand him the phone so he can just show
no,
it.
you do not want me with the phone unless you want it liquid.
Okay,
Damn
I
it.
hand it to the big guy and let him do
Oh,
it.
Okay. Rightio. So both sort of look a little bit odd at Kulak, having not had much as media exposure as Abyss has. And the cook
Show
guy
them the
says,
picture, and then I swipe through the phone to see if there's another picture.
okay, there's some papers, you're not quite sure what the hell they're about. But then the guy says, is he your sidekick? Is he like Waterboy?
no, we team.
What's his name?
Him
Kulak.
Oh, sorry. He says, what's your superpower?
Grab a fork off the bench or a
No,
knife
don't
actually.
destroy their stuff. Him strong and fast.
Right. Okay. And is she part of your team?
hand them back a stylized K made out of a knife.
Okay. He points to Evan. Is she part of your team?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, no, I'm just their public relations person.
Right. Not really sure what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Those
Yeah.
kids come in all the time. Well, they did.
Yeah, and then so when were they last seen? Which hopefully was a week ago.
About a week and a half
On the-
ago, they came in,
Yeah.
as they normally do. Bit late after practice, I guess. Shoot the breeze with Jeremy and his mates, and is it Jeremy? I can't remember. I think that's the name I gave him, the captain boy.
Oh, the captain's name was Adam, wasn't it? No, or was that
Adam
Dad?
was the dad. I think it's
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's Jeremy now.
Yeah, because obviously he's
yep,
a
yep,
fairly well-known
yeah,
thing
he's
in
a
these
pretty good
parts.
kid. Yeah, he and his two mates came, and his girlfriend. They stayed, ate some stuff, and left. And they said they were going to go various ways home. I think,
Okay, so
yeah.
basically, they left and they headed back down
Yeah.
southwards, or
Or just whichever way they had to get home, I guess. I didn't really pay much attention.
Mhm.
Didn't know they were
Yeah.
going to go missing.
no.
Do
And
you
no
have
other
security cameras?
no other
No.
strange people that day.
No, I don't need security cameras here. Strange. And he sort of looks at you guys and goes, he sort of has a bit of a giggle and says, no, nothing strange
More like
now.
more like strange men wearing black glasses that seem to love following me around.
No.
Well,
No.
cool. Okay then I would say that so somewhere between here and they've probably been abducted. So between here and the most direct route back to Hoyt Street, which would be I thank both the waitress and the the cook very, very much, for their help, and then I proceed to just sort of turn and wander off.
Okay.
So I'm just going to start tracing the path. If I was them, I probably wouldn't have taken Trident Street. There's no like park shortcuts probably anywhere in here.
They'd probably catch buses to their various places.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so they might walk to, start separating when they get to their own bus stops,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
and
But
not sure where
all
all
three
of
have
those
gone
are.
missing.
Yeah.
So between here and the first bus stop might be the
Or
point.
probably straight out of the bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
Would have all waited for the same bus, because I'd imagine the captain would have walked home, considering how close it is.
Possibly.
Okay, so once we've left, I'll start walking back towards sort of the south sort of route, looking for the bus stops.
About 100 yards past Trident Street is the first bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
It has several
So-
routes that you can see. It all services the sort of the south part of that massive road. There's also a bus that'll take them into town itself, to Midtown.
Right, so just as a quick thing, any signs of scuffle or anything like that? Any homeless people?
There's a couple of homeless people.
Mm-hmm. Ask them how long they've been staying in this area.
Well, one thinks he's talking to something he's tripping because he keeps on putting his fingers in your water.
Mm-hmm.
He like keeps on like brushing you to make sure you're still there.
Yeah, yeah.
He's probably not going to be the most reliable person. You can talk to one guy after he gets over the initial shock and he says, well, I've been around a long time, I've seen several supers, and I must say you're definitely unique.
Thank you. So just wondering if they free this particular bus stop in the evenings, and if they have.
This is our spot. Don't worry about Clyde over there. He's more
Sort
fogged
of
in the brain with his
ask
alcohol
whether or
than
not
anything else.
if I gain, we can show them the photo if they've seen these youths.
Yeah. Those are the kids that are
Like
missing,
in the
aren't
last-
they?
Yeah, that's we are looking
Yeah.
for said youths.
Yeah.
Were they seen around about a week and a half ago? Do they usually use this stop?
I don't know. Don't think they did on that night.
Okay.
Hang on a second. So he calls over another guy. Hey, those kids that are missing? Yeah, da 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 da. Did they use this bus stop or did they use the? I think they were the one on the. And they're sort of not finishing the sentence. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, no, they didn't use this bus stop.
Do you know which one they, or have you seen them use any bus stop before?
Not really. I didn't, until they sort of became famous, I didn't really put much
Pay
together.
attention.
But no, they used the one over there, and he pointed to the one on the other side of the road.
Oh, okay. So we'll again smile, thank them, wave, and then proceed to sort of head over to check out the one on the other side of the road,
Right.
see what routes that takes, and if it goes past their things, and also check for signs of scuffle.
The routes that one takes is all up this way, because the other routes they were taking were all down this way.
So we knew that he was going to be back late, but how late? What was his, any idea of the curfew? What time was he sending this teenager to bed?
Where do the other kids live? And where does his girlfriend live?
I was about to say the girlfriend not being taken might be someone that we want to talk to at some point. Did you happen to get her name and possibly address, Evan? I think that popping noise was her.
She got the name. It was
Mercy Brown.
Andy Mercy.
That's the one.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just wondering if Tara was having issues talking because I heard a weird popping noise.
Are you with us, Tara? Because we're not hearing you if you're trying to say anything. If your microphone's doesn't look muted from what we're looking at.
I'm sorry, say
Oh,
again?
Yeah,
Sorry,
no,
we're just
okay.
making sure you're okay. You still can connect with us. That's all. We didn't know whether your microphone had given up the ghost or
Oh
something.
no, I was muted.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So
Um,
yeah, they were just wondering to know where the
if
what
you
the
happen
name
to
with
know where
the
the
girlfriend
girlfriend
was.
was, and what time
What
of
was
the
her
night is
name
it?
again? I
Mercy
forgot.
Brown.
Missy Brown.
Mercy.
Uh,
Mercy Brown. Yeah.
And obviously, if it's too late, we wouldn't exactly want to wake people up. But if we can get in touch with
It's about
her,
8:30ish.
okay. And she's how old?
Well,
High
she
school or
16,
college level?
17.
Talking high school, so yeah, so she'll
Okay,
be
so
she'll
yeah, so
still be
if we can
awake.
find, yeah, I was about to say if we can find out where she lives and get to them fast enough, we might be able to have a quick word with her.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's head to her place if we can find it out quick enough.
Okay. Well, it doesn't take much for Tara to find out where she lives. She actually lives here on Light Street in the Palisades.
Okay, cool. So
Yep. So
heading.
that curve, oh god,
Yep.
this sort of curve that goes around is at the base of a rise, and sort of Light Street sort of travels up the base to the top, and her house is near the top. Not the topmost, but near
Okay.
the top. Um,
Okay.
so yeah, so this is a slightly older area. So you're looking at houses that have been around for perhaps 80, 100 years. So it's that sort of style of house.
Mhm.
Hmm. And also you
Right.
notice that the street lamps are also not modern looking. They're a bit more embellished, like you'd get from like the Edwardian time or something like that.
Right.
Hmm.
Oh well. So once we're there, I will approach their front portal, the door,
Mm-hmm.
and if they have a doorbell, push it.
Mm-hmm.
If not, knock.
They have a big, huge door knocker in the shape of
Oh,
some
yep.
sort of
Okay.
avian creature.
Then I will be, politely knocking, not slamming
Yep.
it.
Bang, bang, bang.
Hmm.
Okay. After a short while, a man comes to the door. Um, he's initially just for a short moment, he's sort of taken a bit aback by you. And says,
Sort of again
"Ah,
with that
yes,
hand wave with sort of just a wiggle of the fingers like hello.
yes. You would be Abyss, that super being. Don't you belong to it?" And he sort of sees Kulak and whoever else is behind there.
Yeah.
Oh, your little group.
Yes. We seek missing youths.
That's good. How could I help
uh,
that? My daughter is with me.
sorry, is with them.
With me, yes.
Oh, with you. Um, believe that your, you know, daughter, she called it not just gonna go with female youth, was known to frequent, places with missing, male youth. Um,
Yes,
would she
her
have
and
spent
Jeremy
most of
were
the
boyfriend girlfriend. Yes.
yeah?
Fine young lady.
Would she have time to possibly go through, happenings of that day, with us quickly?
She has already talked to the police. But if it will stop people from coming around and it helps you with whatever you're trying to do, um, I'll see if she'll see you. If you can just, he just comes in and asks you just to stand
Most
in the
grateful.
foyer. So this place definitely has that whole sort of Edwardian vibe to it.
Yeah. Try not to leave wet marks on carpet.
Yeah. So he goes up a very elaborate circular metal stairway, and then moves and knocks on the door, and he says, "Mercy," and the door opens, and you hear some talking. Then Mercy rushes out, and she looks at you and has big smiles and says, "Oh wow, oh wow," she says, and she comes down, and she moves over to you, to Abyss, and she says, "Hang on a second, can you smile for me?" And then she brings out her phone and click, click.
Oh, one of those things. Smile. Again,
Yeah.
hand up, wave.
Yeah. So
I'm going to make sure that I am nowhere near this.
okay. So yeah, she's not tending to sort of focus on you, but she is focusing on Abyss, going, "Oh wow!" And you tack 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 tack. Me and my
Yep.
new bestie, and then like see a message go straight out, and like, oh god.
Yeah, I'm not gonna see it. I'm not gonna know about it.
Mm, mm.
So I'll just say to Mercy, we have
And
some questions regarding missing youth, missing boys. Yes, we've
Jeremy,
established that they're all
certainly,
youth.
but she's looking at her
Yep.
phone, and you can hear it
Yep.
go a little ping, ping, ping,
So
ping as people
we
answer it.
understand on the day that he went missing, you
Mm.
both attended school.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yep. You
Oh my
went to
god,
the diner
100 new
after work.
viewers. Oh yeah, the grease
And
pit,
then
yeah.
you proceeded to possibly part ways from there. Did
Yeah,
the boys
he
say
went
where they
home
were possibly?
with Jerome and Peter, and I caught the bus home here.
Okay, so
Oh
did the
god,
boys say where they were likely to be going other than home, or?
no, they just left. I just thought they'd be going home. It was
Where did you catch the bus from?
um the bus station opposite
the road,
Trident Street.
Yeah. So she got on the bus there. They did not. Well, or if they did, they then proceeded to go somewhere else rather than
So she just
home.
thinking, oh my god, 500 new friends. Oh,
Yay.
this has been a great night.
Yes, we can see that you really miss him.
And so she says, "Oh,
We
hang on
will
a
do
second,
our
hang
best
on,
to find him.
hang on. You, and she's pointing to Kulak. Would you come into the picture, please?"
No.
Well, you're just rude. Can we just
Right.
have one more picture? So she goes, click, click,
Yeah.
click,
We're
click.
trying to look for your missing boyfriend, and you're more interested in followers.
I've been affected, you know. I've been very upset. And this is just one
Okay,
small
so we
moment
know that
of enjoyment, and you would not let me have that. And sort of her father comes over and sort of he says, I don't like the tone of your voice,
Blunt.
sir.
Well,
Can't come
once
over
once we
and
find the missing kids, then yes, we will have photos and do whatever. But currently, I'm more focused on them than anything else.
Okay.
well, my daughter's here and her feelings have been hurt. If you need to ask her anything, please ask now because I think it's time for you to
Yeah.
leave.
No, we found everything we really wanted here. I thank Mercy so much for her help.
She says, "Oh, that's
Um,
fine. It's lovely. Oh, Abyss. That must be what? ABISS. I think that's how you spell it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thankfully,
and
I
she
don't
sort
care
of
how it's
is
spelled.
talking to herself, walking up the stairs, looking on the phone, almost trips herself up. Goes, "Oh, Dad." I said, "I'll take care of it later." He says, "Sorry,
Yeah.
but thank you. You'll need to leave now." He opens the door and ushers you
Okay.
out.
So wander back out. So we know that. What did the boys do afterward, or did they choose not to take the bus and did they walk? Where do we go from here?
So, Tara, you've been quiet in the back. You're outside now. Is Evan Mystic doing anything? Or have you sort of just witnessed
Oh,
all
I'm gonna
this?
let them continue to talk to the girl for now.
No,
Okay,
no,
well, that's
We're
allowed.
outside.
You're
Yeah,
sort
we're
of
leaving.
being pushed outside.
Oh, say that again. I couldn't hear you very well.
So
Yeah, we're leaving.
yeah, you're sort of being pushed
Okay,
outside by
so
the dad.
what have you found out?
So we know that on the evening in question, she caught the bus from across Trident Street, and the other three were supposed to be catching their bus. So either one, they never got on their bus, or two, they didn't take the bus at all.
She was with them, and she took a bus, and they waited for another bus.
So she took her bus from here and came home, and that was the last point she had contact with them. So either they didn't then take their southbound bus, because we know he lives somewhere here, unless of course his mates also live in the northern section. But then they should have got on the same bus as her.
Why didn't they get on the bus with her? Did you ask?
Well, she lives northward, which is for the bus that was on her stop, so to speak, would obviously or like think so. Unless we know the other two's addresses, because
Well, we
his bus
know
stop would have been on
the
the
cat
opposite.
the boy that I saw.
Yeah, we knew that he lived on Hoyt Street, which would put his bus stop on the other side of the road, which means that yes, they'd be completely different buses. But the homeless guys reckon that they didn't take that bus, and they only saw like them on the one on the other side of the road, which means that either she came north and they didn't come north at all, and they took a separate or a different bus, or they didn't take a bus at all.
Well,
They just
let's
started to
go to
wander
where the
south.
bus. Let's go to where the bus
So the bus stops again.
up.
Mm-hmm.
Were the bus stops fairly modernized? Would they have had CCTV?
Might not have.
Might not have. Anything in the air.
Well,
Might
when
have
you
caught
get
it.
there, you have a look, and they don't actually. I
Yeah.
mean, they do have a screen up top which announces what buses are coming when. They
Yeah.
do have like a metro map sort of thing for the bus things and the timetable, and like two stalls where people can sit and wait if it's rainy or something. But that's pretty much about it, apart from
Right.
where the bus pulls in, and
But
like
again,
two buses could
nothing
pull in
else.
at that site.
Yeah.
Is there
Nothing
any
else. Yeah.
any marks on the road, like of tire screeches or any items dropped? Or I know it's been a week and a half, but
Nothing obvious like that. There is some road wear and tear, but no obvious like brake
Scuff.
marks or
Yeah.
you
Where
know
something mounted
damage.
the curb at speed.
Yeah, there'd be like some potholes that have been obviously sorted out, but quite a while ago. It's not a fresh thing.
So
Hey,
what?
I want to see if I can cast a spell. Kind of like psychometry.
Remember, your spells are very
Big
small and they only
level.
change the environment now. They can't really do much else.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, no buildings around the area.
so you can't cast a detect or anything like that, or a track.
Oh yeah, I can track cast a detect, depending on what I'm trying to detect, and if it's in that it's there at the time. So what I would try and detect.
Who was fourth boy that's missing? He was completely unrelated.
Let me see if I can detect an aura associated with the boy.
The fourth
whose
boy.
house I
Who
was
was
in.
he?
Two questions. So Neil Small is his name.
Yeah.
The fourth boy. So you try to cast and see if you can get any current sort of residual reading sort of thing. Is that what you're trying to attempt, Evan?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. You
Or
cast
related
and you
to
get
the
a reading of no current auras.
Okay, so let me see. This area, there's a lake here. I'm assuming this is a lake.
No. That's that part there is a little forest park land.
That's a forest. Let us take a look at the forest. See if there's anything there. So where would the bus have been?
The bus would leave. Yep, that's it. Pretty much in front of the school. And her one sort of travels up and sort of goes this way, whereas their ones sort of travel that way.
Down.
I want to go to here, which is directly across from where the bus would be. At the beginning of the forest.
So does their route travel the whole way down Jefferson, or does it turn into Central?
The line it travels on is it goes to Jefferson into North Boulevard.
Okay, right. So it does go the whole way down. Sweet. Just wondering because if it came down Central and they got out here, then that forest there would be a bit of
that's more of a parkland. This one here on the Mohawk Boulevard side has I guess the best you could call it was be a thin sort of copse of trees that sort of melds together, So it's sort of forest-like, but not really, if you know what I mean. It's like approximately around about uh, 5 yards wide, but sort of running the whole length of that side of the park.
Yeah.
So you're over there, Evan Mystic. So you said you were sort of putting yourself over here. Is that right? Moving over to that place.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So you're sort of on the southeast of the park. You can see the parkland. It's slight rolling hills. You can see that there are some. There's a couple of baseball diamonds. There's some gridiron fields, and there's some just parkland, as well as a few little sort of gardens. And then far away, you can sort of see the almost continuous copses of trees that have joined together to make that one sort of line of trees across the north.
Okay. First thing I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring up a minion.
Yep. A
What
fodder
was it?
or a
Fodder,
low?
and then was low, right?
Yep.
A
So
low, one
a
low.
low. Okay. Cool.
In the form of a doggy.
I think they've got to stay the same sort of form.
Thought
You
I could
can't change
determine.
them.
Hold on. See what
No.
this thing says.
Yeah.
Thought I could
Yeah, but once they're set as something, I would
Yeah.
have thought
That's once it's
they.
set.
I'm
It's set.
thinking that the only thing I know that one second. Was that when you gave him the powers,
Yep. It is.
that's
Yep.
that's a one and done. That you
Yep.
can't give him once you give him a power, you can't change it for you can't swap it out. Ah, damn
Mm-hmm.
it.
That's right.
That I know, but I didn't
Yeah.
think they said
No, you can't. You can't
the
change
only
it because
power
then that power
the tip
becomes too
if you can
too much.
if you
Universal.
begin having thing you can say
So the
Let alone the
minions.
fact
You can.
that
Oh, sorry.
even if you can create a small
Roughly
doggy, you
human-sized.
know, yeah, and
says I
also
could it says they can take whatever form I desire,
yep.
Yep.
but roughly human size.
Yep.
So even if you choose to make it a big dog, I also have one.
Say it again. I'm
Cut,
sorry.
cut out
Say
there,
again.
Andy.
I was about to say, even if you make it a dog and it becomes human size, I have one other question for you. What is it tracking?
That's the next thing.
You don't have anything with a scent on it.
Yeah, I know. I do need to get something like that, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yes,
Wouldn't
I
go
do.
big.
Actually, I do. Remember, I mentioned that I had taken out a what do they call them? Kerchief.
Handkerchief.
Kerchief.
I
Yeah,
thought that was
handkerchief.
yours.
But it had touched something in his room, so.
Oh, that would be real unlikely. But okay.
It might be.
You
no,
give it a
so
shot.
what
It
we did
can't
there?
hurt.
Exactly.
The school would have an old jock strap anyway. That might work.
Yeah.
Okay, then one of you want to go get the old jock strap?
Yeah. Let alone the fact that it would have to have been unwashed in a week and a half.
Washing it doesn't. It's not going to remove the scent. That's how come dog. That's how come a hound dog can trace somebody, can track a person who went through water. Or it's a fallacy to think that that water is going to wash your scent away.
Mm-hmm. So
Yes, but
you're
detergents
bringing
might.
forth one of your lows as a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody, please go and find a jock strap, please.
They can't get into the school.
I'm not going to ask
and how do they
security
know it's
guards for a
his
jock strap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how
that
it's his
just
jock
sounds
strap.
weird.
Yeah.
What is jockstrap?
Oh, can't you just ooze in there and grab one?
Strangely enough, no. Whilst people can poke and things into me, I can't just permeate through things. Because I do have a actual solid.
Okay. I will
I'm still contemplating. To.
Okay, I guess I'll bring up another, since I did a low, I have to do another low.
Mm-hmm.
So I will bring up a low
Mm-hmm.
and send it to the school. Were you able to determine where his locker was?
They didn't
Nope,
get
not-
inside at all.
We didn't
We
go
just
in.
talked
I
to
never
the
went
security
inside.
guards.
What the hell did y'all do?
We talked to the security guards
Yeah.
at the door.
What are we supposed to do? Break into a school? Trespass illegally?
Yes, of course.
It's across the road. Go on ahead.
Okay, I will be right back. I unsummoned the doggy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the abyss. Is she actually going to break into a school?
I'm gonna
The
do
the
that.
concept, well, the concept of breaking and entering me, as I just, doesn't make much. But I do understand that it's a public school ground, so maybe it's okay.
Hmm.
I don't get the legal ramifications. I mean, morally, it's wrong. um,
So what's happening, guys? Are you watching Evan Mistake?
I'm not going to think. So there's a tree line. You said that is that on Summit Ave side as well, or
No, just Mohawk Boulevard,
just
and it
Mohawk
pretty much
Boulevard?
runs the width of the whole northern sort of face.
Yeah, but the other
Oh,
one's
so
just an
this
open
isn't trees
park.
down here.
No
Yeah,
trees there. That's all
just a pure
parkland and
open park.
gardens and baseball diamonds and gridiron fields and things.
Right.
Oh.
So it's highly and this is not the school grounds version field, or is
No,
it
the school field is, and as I said before, is in the southwest.
completely? So maybe they
That's sort
came
of
here just to run some
there.
extra sort of plays. We'll have a look around the gridiron field, see if there's anything that's been overlooked and missed.
Okay. Quite hard in the dark, so just both of you give me a 1d6 roll, please. Okay, so you both come to the conclusion there probably isn't anything to find here.
Right.
And either because you couldn't see anything, or because there might not be anything to find because you both had different roles. But you both came to the same conclusion. Eben,
Right.
what are you doing at the moment? Considering
I'm
options,
going.
or
Yeah. I'm going to go to the school. Look for one of the doors, say a side door or something. My magic to pick the lock.
Okay, give me a 2d6 roll to pick the lock.
I'm gonna say that didn't work.
Probably not, given there's not, it doesn't even equal 5. No.
Okay, I'll wait a bit and try again.
Okay. You can hear some people moving around the building towards your position.
I'm assuming they're bushes, right?
There'd be small bushes, yeah.
Okay. I'll just make myself unseeable. Invisible.
So basically, you don't have the power of invisibility, but you're talking more about like more of a chameleon.
Well,
sort
yeah,
of
it's an
look.
illusion. Make it
Yep.
basically covering over my my
But
form.
melding more with the bush sort of thing. Is that what you're saying?
It's not actual invisibility. Yeah.
No. Okay. Can you give me a 2d6 roll, please?
The jungle came alive and took him.
I'm having a hard time doing my magics.
So the two guards sort
Do
of come
that.
around.
Try that again before anybody gets it.
They seen you. So say, hey,
Oh.
you over there, put your hands up. You can tell their hands have gone to holsters, and although you can just see the shadows.
Yeah, I'm
you
going
can see
to
they're
make
pulling
their
out.
I'm going to move their gun slightly to the left as I move away. Decent roll. What the fuck? Come on!
Nope.
Is there any way
Okay,
to
right. They're holding their guns in their hands, and they're moving towards you. They're telling
Hey,
you to
what
put
are
your hands
you?
up.
Why are you pointing a gun? I'm just standing here. It's a street. Why are they pointing a
This
gun
is
at a person?
school grounds.
Yeah, if you've had to go on to the school
Okay.
grounds, you've gone up their really long driveway.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm like, you know, standing at a door or anything. I'm just standing by a bush.
which is highly suspicious.
Don't pull guns on people.
Just
They're
standing by the
highly
door is
paranoid.
less suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just back away.
They tell you to stand
This
still.
this
So
um
remember, you can still quietly cast a spell if you want to try to do
yeah,
something.
yeah, I'm definitely not going to cast a spell.
Oh, wow, that is like the third
I
or
don't
fourth
know
time
what's
you've rolled
going.
those
Yeah,
exact
I
two.
could
Yeah.
do it. I can. Is there any way to like boost a spell or something?
No, not really. Not with
Can you
spell
focus?
touched.
Nah, focusing is like combat. Takes a
Okay.
full round.
Yeah,
You
focusing.
you can actually focus because in the latest podcast somebody was falling and they focused so they could try to get a better chance of catching onto something else to stop their fall.
How does focusing work again?
So you have 2 actions around, which means we've got to go into initiative. Then you spend, when it's your turn, you say my first action is going to be to focus, and then my second action is going to be to try to cast such and such. And at the
Right,
end of
and
that, you
that
have
means
a
4, 5, and 6
yeah,
are good.
yeah.
I'm going to do that and say,
Okay,
hey,
so you got to go to
I
initiative. So give me
just,
a
I'm
2d6
just,
roll.
okay, 3d6 you said?
2d6. Yep, and
6.
whichever one goes
I'm just
higher.
holding my hand up and said,
Yep.
I'm just taking a walk. What is wrong with you people? What is wrong with you people?
They get to go first. So one guy claps around only one of your wrists a set of handcuffs, and he's moving your arms back down. You're focusing.
Wait a minute,
What?
they're coming towards me with handcuffs? You know
He's
they
got a
don't,
handcuff on.
you know they don't carry handcuffs, right?
These guys do.
It's a fancy school.
I fancy or not, they're not allowed to carry handcuffs.
These guys are.
It's against the law for anybody who is not an actual police officer to carry handcuffs.
Well, then these guys are breaking the rules, but they are carrying handcuffs.
Okay, okay, fine. If they're going to break the law, I can break the law. Just want to make sure that's we understand.
Mm. So on a 7, as I said, one guy still got his gun trained on you. One's got his handcuff around your left hand, I beg your pardon, wrist, and is starting to move you down to handcuff the other one behind your back. You've done
Okay,
your
first,
focus, and your spell
yeah.
attempt is going to be to do what?
My spell attempt is going to do is basically at this point, what am I doing? Oh, right. Well, I figured about that. That's going to make no sense. Unlock the handcuff on me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so as he's moving around, it comes undone. You can hear him sort of curse a little bit, and we're going to leave it
And
there
then,
for tonight.
do I
Folks.
get do I have movement along with the action, or is the action
One was
An action
focus,
is
part of
movement.
one was spellcasting. You only get 2 actions around, unless you've got a trait that can give you more.
Oh, good night. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Look at
Yeah.
6
I'm
o'clock.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop the game
I was
here,
gonna say
guys.
because I've got to wake up at 5.
Yeah,
Fun.
that's all cool. Where are we?